Okay, so here we go. I was one of those kids who grew up going to places like Blockbuster, which to me was like my equivalent of going to church. I absolutely loved walking up and down the aisles, looking at all the different movies and games, and until I found something that I thought looked cool, I would take it off the shelf, look at the back of the case, and if it hyped me up, I'd check it out. I'd rent it, I'd take it home, and I'd boot it up. And if you were lucky, you would actually boot to a main menu that made you more hyped to play that game just by sitting in its menus, which is an art form that I feel like is completely lost in modern gaming. But when you think of like the Halo trilogy, those games are known for all kinds of great things, but I've always loved that the main menus of those games were so artistic and stylistic, and they made me actually want to spend time in that game. It made me look forward to actually booting up that game and playing it because I knew that I was going to have a good time, and I'd be reminded by that just by booting the game up. And all of this is made even more apparent when you look at modern game main menus, because modern game menus are, well, they're shit. Because in short, I feel like the game devs should consider the act of booting up and navigating the menus of their games as the foreplay to actually playing the game. And as weird as that sounds, I stand by it. And the reason I mentioned the whole Blockbuster thing at the beginning of the video is because we're inching closer and closer to an all-digital age where people aren't really walking around in stores anymore, picking up physical copies of games, looking at the backs of the cases to decide whether or not they want to spend their money on these things. And I get it. It's because more and more people are going to the digital marketplace because the ease of access is awesome. That's why I do it myself. But there's one way I like to think about it, and it's how I'm going to hammer this home for pretty much the remainder of the video. I want you guys to think for a second as the big corporations, the game devs that are trying to sell us their games. Think of them as like fishermen. That makes us the fish that they're trying to catch. And 10 years ago, this was the bait that was sitting in stores. We was just swimming up the aisles of the Blockbusters and the GameStop, and when we come across a sick looking piece of bait, we'd be like, huh, that looks pretty rad. And they hooked us. That was the interaction that is now completely gone. And I feel the act of booting up a really artistic and stylistic main menu that gets you hyped to play the game before you've even started playing should be the replacement for this interaction that is dying or just completely dead. And I feel like that's the way I see this entire situation. And I think the thing that sucks the most about this whole situation is that the fishermen at the top, the big corporations that make these decisions, they know they can get away with putting out the shittiest bait possible, and it doesn't even matter because they know the fish, the players, will eat it anyway. And that's what sucks the most about this, guys. It used to be better. I feel it should be better, and it could be better if enough people just said something about it. And I feel like that applies to a lot of problems in modern gaming, not just this. And by the way, this video is by no means a way of me saying that if Halo Infinite replaced its main menu with a shattered revolving ring world reminiscent of the main menu from Halo Combat Evolved, that all of this would be fixed, because it's bigger than Halo now. But if I'm being completely honest, it'd be pretty fucking rad if they did replace it with that. That would just, whew, that'd be sick. But guys, that's all I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.